अस्सलाम वालेकुम फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप सब। उम्मीद करती हूँ कि आप सब खैरियत से होंगे। तो आज की वीडियो को करते हैं स्टार्ट। लेकिन वीडियो को स्टार्ट करने से पहले जो लोग भी मेरे चैनल पे न्यू हैं वो मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लें और बेल नोटिफिकेशन को प्रेस कर दें ताकि मेरी न्यू आने वाली वीडियोस बआसानी उन तक पहुँच सकें। जी तो फ्रेंड्स, चलते हैं आज की न्यू वीडियो में। तो आज की वीडियो में हम बात करने वाले हैं हाउ मैनी कंट्रीज़ have committed to net zero. So let's start the video. Commitments by governments to reach net zero fall far short of what is required. According to the United Nations, according to the Climate Action Tracker, an independent scientific analyst that measures government climate action against the Paris Agreement goals, around 140 countries have announced or are considering net zero targets. A UK-based non-profit organization, Net Zero Tracker, estimated that 139 countries either had passed laws, policy documents, pledges, or had held discussions to achieve net zero targets. Of these, only 17 have passed laws enshrining the 2050 net zero target, including the EU. Net zero refers to a balance between the amount of greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere and the amount of greenhouse gases removed. This means that in addition to reducing emissions of carbon dioxide, one of the greenhouse gases, net zero can also be achieved by carbon offsetting. What does net zero by 2050 mean? To meet the 1.5 centigrade global warming target in the Paris Agreement signed by 196 countries in 2015, global carbon emissions should fall to net zero around 2050. The United Nations defines net zero as cutting greenhouse gas emissions to as close to zero as possible, with any remaining emissions reabsorbed from the atmosphere by oceans and forests. Reaching net zero by 2050 would mean keeping the increase in global warming to 1.5 centigrade above, which climate change threatens to make parts of the planet unlivable. The world is not currently on track to meet the 1.5 centigrade target. What is the difference between net zero, zero carbon, and carbon neutrality? Net zero can be achieved by either cutting the amount of greenhouse gases or by offsetting them. In contrast to net zero, zero carbon stands for releasing no carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is only one of several greenhouse gases and is produced by burning fossil fuels. Carbon zero. Zero carbon energy is energy procured by 100% renewable source like wind or solar. Carbon neutral refers to a process where any carbon emissions that are released into the atmosphere are balanced by an equivalent amount absorbed from the atmosphere via carbon sinks like forest. Since the term net zero refers to all greenhouse gases and not just CO2, it is larger in scale than carbon neutrality. जी तो फ्रेंड्स, ये थी मेरी आज की वीडियो। उम्मीद करती हूँ आपको पसंद आई होगी। अगर वीडियो अच्छी लगी है तो इसे लाइक कर लें और मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लें। फिर मिलेंगे किसी नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। टिल देन, अल्लाह हाफिज़।